Everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I really believe, you've heard me probably say this before, that part of having a good death is living a good life, and whatever that means to you, whatever brings you meaning, whatever makes you feel like you get the most out of it. Today I want to talk about our past self and how we reflect upon that. And hopefully it's not in the obvious way that you think it is. Hi, my name is Abigail. I'm here to normalize these conversations and education about death and dying so we die better at end of life. Let's get into it today. So I want you to just think about one of the times, and by the way, this is something that for me has been pretty significant, and maybe for some people this is a real obvious thing, but for me it was pretty significant, especially when it was really genuine and sincere from my end. And I'll get into this. I want you to think about a time where you, at one point in your life, you were reflecting on your past self, either something you did or the way you were, how you looked, how you were, how you behaved, whatever it is. And when you look back, and one of those times where you either were talking to somebody else and you were like really bashing yourself about your previous self, or maybe you were just thinking back and about your previous self and thinking like, oh my God, what a disaster, and just kind of like cringing and saying, ugh, gross. I will tell you, for me, I think most of my life I did that. Every single year I would go, oh my God, I was so stupid last year. Oh my God, I really let myself get so fat. And oh my God, I couldn't handle the stress. I just kept working like crazy and let everybody walk all over me, and then and I kept going, and oh, I let myself get so sick and so unhealthy, and I'm so stupid. What a stupid, that was my narrative, especially when I got really sick between 2020, 2023. That was my narrative like all the time. You stupid idiot. How can you not see that people were just fully taking advantage of you, and you were working the job of 3 people? That was told to me. That wasn't just me. That was told to me by one of my VPs. Horrible things. And when I would speak about myself, my past self, I'd be like, yeah, I was such a stupid idiot. And I used a lot of other adjectives in the book. And I really just kept thinking about, God, I was just so stupid, and just really putting myself in this image of just bad, stupid, gross, fat. Fat was like a recurring theme because my weight used to just go up and down like crazy. And I would have periods in my life where I was really obese, at least a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 times. And, I just wouldn't let up. And for some reason, and I think my work that I've been doing on myself, continue to do on myself, we're always a work in progress, I really just started to think about, wow, she really hung in there. Like when I look at my past self, there were many points in my life, especially certain points in my life, that were really challenging, just like everybody. Really challenging, really tried me, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. And I'm still here. And I don't share this with a lot of people, but I think it's important to be open and share this type of stuff, especially when we're talking about life and death stuff. Life and death, they're so intimately connected. But I was really suicidal at 3 main points in my life. And one of them was when I was really sick, over the last few years. And I was just hoping and praying I could just end. I wanted to be done I was so done with being in my physical body, and I was just like so over it. And, again, bashing on myself, hating myself for, the way I had lived, and, getting up to the point where I was so ill and just really having to do, so many trips to the doctor's office, hospital, medications, diagnostics, and spending all my money, hard-earned money, on just, my disease versus my life. So the fact that I'm here today, and the fact that you are here today, regardless of what they may look like, you have, and you might have heard other people say this, I've heard someone say this on social media, you've lived through your worst day, your absolute worst day. And I think that's such a beautiful reminder, because you yourself have lived through your worst day ever. And hopefully that was the worst day. Hopefully you don't have more worse days, but that was the worst day for you. Hopefully, I'm hoping that for you. And you're still here. And that is just so huge. And that past version of you is the one that lived through it. Whether it was 5 minutes ago, whether it was 5 years ago, you're still here. You're right here, right now. You're awake today. And maybe you're deciding whether or not to try to get up and do something for yourself today, or, fall back on some, old habits or patterns that may or may not have been helpful to you or important to you or, meaningful to your life. You decide that. But I really want to give credit to your past self, and I want to give credit to my past self because they were pretty amazing people. They are pretty amazing people to have gone through our worst days. And to spend one more minute bashing them, thinking poorly of them, calling them all the names in the books. I mean, definitely. Fatso was a big one, and that's just like, whatever. Okay, that happened. What's the big deal? I'm still working on my health, okay, and I'm committed to that. But I remember especially like getting up on those mornings and trying to find something to wear where I didn't feel as huge as I felt, where it made me at least feel like I didn't look as terrible as I thought I looked, and so uncomfortable. I just remember being so uncomfortable in my body. That was just, not only was I sick, but I was obese. And, that was like one of the 3 times that I was obese. And it was just so uncomfortable. I hated it when it was hot because I could just never get comfortable. I could never just wear something that you could, wear when it's hot because I had to cover up my body to a degree because I was so ashamed and just so disgusted with myself. And this was when I was even like fasting like crazy, working out like crazy. And because of all my health issues, I just kept ballooning up. And that woman, that past version of myself, is the one that kept going through the day. And I go back and like, I don't even know how I did it. I mean, there's so many days where I go back like, I don't know how I did that, but like, I don't know how I stuck it out. I just don't know. Going back and remembering, I mean, good on her and good on you. Good on your previous version of yourself. Good on you for your past version of you for sticking it out that day and being here, because that is such a huge deal. Please don't undermine it. Please don't undermine it, because it's the reason why you're here today. Your past version is why you're here today. And you know what? One day you're going to look back and go, wow, even today, there's something I could have learned more, but maybe you're going to be a little bit more compassionate, I hope, and go, wow, I was still growing, and good on me for, trying to learn, doing the best I could. You deserve a lot of credit. And that's all I want to do for you today, is really to allow, hopefully, yourself to give yourself a lot of credit, a lot of recognition for the fact that you're still here, because your past self went through whatever they went through to still be here today. So good on you, and really, really good on the past version, the previous version of yourself. Have a good day. My name is Abigail. I'm here to normalize these conversations and education about death and dying so we die better at the end of life. I really hope you have a good week this week, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.